Welcome to Planning Nutritious Menus While Staying on Budget, Part 9 of the Menu Planning for Assisted Living course, brought to you by American Way University. Once again, my name is Angie Danielski, and our video segments will feature Krista Bly. In the 9th segment of this presentation, we will cover the 9 different superfoods, which will feature a video segment with Krista. Next, we will discuss how to alter resident eating patterns and stocking the pantry. Now that we have had a chance to review a weekly menu, here is some additional information regarding healthy foods. There are certain foods that not only provide nutritional value of similar foods in their group, but also provide extra benefits. These foods are called superfoods. The 9 superfoods we should try to incorporate into weekly menus, when we can include it, include blueberries, green or black tea, fresh tomatoes, strawberries, cinnamon, beans, pomegranate, omega-3 fatty acids, and soy and tofu products. These foods are rich in antioxidants and have added health benefits. In the next slide, we will see Krista discussing these 9 superfoods.
There are 9 foods that are considered quote-unquote superfoods that are of high nutritional value, whether you're elderly or not everybody's elderly that lives in these homes, I realize, or just a general population. And they have the most antioxidants and health benefits out of any other foods. So if you can try to incorporate some of these, blueberries are extremely high in antioxidants. Green tea and black tea, I see that teas are listed as a beverage that they are allowed as a choice, so both green and black teas. Tomatoes, those are typically not the ones that you get in December that are plastic-y looking and don't have any flavor. We're talking about like, June, July, August, fresh tomatoes. It's the lycopene that's in there. And it also has a lot of resveratrol, which is another thing that's in red wine. If you've ever heard those terms, a glass of red wine, I don't think you can serve red wine to the residents, but if you wanted to know that, that's up there on the list of one of the top 9 superfoods. Strawberries, a huge amount of vitamin C in strawberries, fiber. Cinnamon, serve cinnamon with the oatmeal or the hot cereal that you happen to have. Just a little bit every day. It helps the digestion. Beans, again, there's so many different beans that you can try. Pomegranate, not too many people are into cutting a pomegranate. If you've not seen one of those, it's little tiny seeds, and you got to kind of pick them out with your fingernail. It's really pretty tedious. Maybe if you wanted to try to incorporate that. There's a lot of pomegranate juice, but then we fall into the same category of the juice, and it's raising your blood sugar. Any soy products. And then omega-3 fatty acids, which are fish oils, flaxseed oil, if you can get some fresh fish, salmon for sure, flaxseed oil or olive oil in your cooking.
When changing the menu to incorporate more nutritious foods, we need to do so gradually, so we slowly change resident eating habits over time. These suggestions are not something you want to do all at once, as we need to ensure residents are comfortable with the food we serve. For the foods that are a main part of the meals most days, such as potatoes, white rice, or white bread, we want to try to reduce the frequency of the items from 5 to 6 times per week down to 2 or 3 times per week. Also, if bread and butter is served at every meal, try to avoid serving it for 1 to 2 meals per week to slowly make the change for the residents. We can also try a new recipe 1 meal per week to incorporate more nutritious meals and see if residents like it. That way, if they do like it, we know that we can begin incorporating that dish into the menu regularly instead of a less nutritious option. In the next slide, we will see Krista explaining more about how to change the eating patterns for our residents.
When you're serving food to residents, you're not only responsible for them, the health of them as a caregivers, but also nutritionally, how they're nutritionally met. One of the other women, I can't remember her name, that was here last time, was talking about how one of the houses, so many of the residents had been gaining a lot of weight, and she was concerned about that. So there's a lot of different things that you guys are all doing in the house to care for the residents, and the nutrition is one aspect of it. So it needs to just be brought up. But then again, you have to be able to meet them where they're at and can't go too far. But some little changes could make some differences.
Assisted living homes need to always ensure that there is at least a 3-day supply of food on hand, so having the pantry stocked with basic food items can help accomplish this goal. Having some canned fruits on hand is helpful, especially if something were to happen and the fresh fruit options that were purchased go bad. Common fruits to have on hand include canned peaches, pears, fruit cocktail, mandarin oranges, or applesauce. Similarly, having canned or frozen vegetables available can serve the same purpose as canned fruits. Good options to have on hand include canned or frozen peas, carrots, corn, green beans, baked beans, and mixed vegetables. For the dry or non-perishable foods, it is a good idea to have a small stock of a variety of foods on hand, such as cereals, oatmeal, pancake or waffle mix, pasta, rice, flour, sugar, and bread. When purchasing meats, sometimes it is more cost-effective to buy meat in larger quantities and then split the meat up into smaller quantities for the freezer. Some meats to have on hand include ground beef, chicken, bacon, sausage. In addition, having some lunch meat to make sandwiches can also be helpful to have an option if a resident does not want to eat what is being served. Lastly, it's a good idea to also have kitchen supplies on hand to ensure the kitchen can be kept neat and clean. Some items to have include bleach, dish soap, and paper towel. Often, an assisted living house will have a food service that delivers these types of items that we'd like to have on hand. If the food service provides food in larger quantities, the cost per item is often reduced, which can help to keep food costs down rather than having to purchase each item on an individual basis from the store. This concludes the 9th part of the American Way University training of Planning Nutritious Meals While Staying on Budget, Menu Planning for Assisted Living.